Hi Hoya lovers, this is Susan Swartzfeger at Coco Ranch Hoya, and today I'd like to talk to you about the Hoya Carnosa Krimson Princess and Hoya Carnosa Argentea Princess, and what the major differences are. Number one, they are genetically different. They may very well have come from the same nursery in the 1970s, but we have no proof of that. Hoya Carnosa Krimson Princess has interior variegation. That means on the inside of the leaf with dark green on the outside of the leaf. And you can see that with each and every one of the leaves. And it will have a reddish stem for the new growth. This plant, if it's not grown in high light, the Hoya Carnosa Krimson Princess, if it's not grown in high light, will revert to green. So that's an important thing for you to know about. Now, this is Hoya Carnosa Argentea Princess. It's a brand new find in the last 2 to 3 years. When I say it's a new find, I mean that it was found in Apopka, Florida, in a very old collection. And the man that told this person that found it, found this man with the collection, he said that he had purchased this collection from BL Cobia's stock. BL Cobia also patented Hoya Krimson Princess, Hoya Argentea. He called it Hoya Silver Princess, I believe. Anyway, this is the new Hoya Argentea Princess. Now you may be noticing that the Hoya Argentea Princess has interior variegation through the center of the leaf, and it has exterior green, but it has also a gray cuticle. Instead of being a clear cuticle over top, it's gray. Now that gray cuticle can't be, it's not something you can make happen to Hoya Krimson Princess. It's a genetic difference in the two Hoyas. So you notice that they both have a reddish brand new growth. They both have interior variegation. They have exterior green, but the Hoya Argentea Princess has the gray cuticle. The gray cuticle, according to Michael Rhoda, he says that it's very common in the milkweed plants in the wild. But the plants that we have in propagation, the Hoya plants, it's not very common. So that's the main differences between Hoya Carnosa Argentea Princess and Hoya Carnosa Krimson Princess. Hi, back again to talk about Hoya Carnosa Krimson Queen and Hoya Carnosa Argentea. I have two examples here. Notice that with Hoya Carnosa Krimson Queen that there's outer variegation and inner green. And that's what makes this plant different from Hoya Carnosa Krimson Princess. This is Hoya Carnosa Krimson Queen. It was patented by BL Cobia in the 1970s. Now, this is Hoya Carnosa Argentea. And notice that it has outside or outer variegation and inside green. However, it has the gray cuticle, not the clear cuticle like Hoya Krimson Queen, but a gray cuticle, which makes it very desirable. That's a genetic different from this plant. You cannot make the Hoya Carnosa Krimson Queen have that genetic change or genetic difference that Hoya Carnosa Argentea has. So it's thought that these two plants may very well have come from the same pod, or at least from the same breeder, which would have been BL Cobia, but we don't have proof of that. Hi, we've talked about the Hoya Krimson Princess and the Hoya Argentea Princess. and we talked about the Hoya carnosa Crimson Queen and the Hoya carnosa Argentea. And now I'd like to talk to you about Hoya carnosa, Hoya carnosa Nova Ghost and Hoya carnosa Ghost. Now, there are some people that want to laugh about these two, but I want you to know that they are significantly different. And at this point, I can tell you that the Hoya carnosa Nova Ghost, this one, has come directly from the Hoya Argentea Princess. We had talked about the fact that Hoya carnosa, or Krimson Princess, reverts to green. And I just want you to know that the Hoya carnosa Argentea Princess will revert back to green also. So that means that Hoya carnosa Argentea Princess, when it turns green, doesn't come back to variegated. It then becomes Hoya carnosa Nova Ghost. It's not from Ghost, which has been long propagated. It's actually from Hoya carnosa Argentea Princess. So that's why it's called Nova, meaning new, and Ghost, meaning that it's ghost with this gray covering. So that's the main difference between Nova Ghost and Ghost, Hoya carnosa Ghost. The other thing is, when you're feeling the edges of the Hoya carnosa Ghost, the regular one, you'll feel that it's not really turned down, it's more flat. The reason is they've been propagated over and over and over. The Hoya carnosa Nova Ghost, there's a distinct edge over each leaf. That means that this has not been propagated over and over and over. It also makes it distinctly different from Hoya carnosa Ghost, or Grey Ghost rather. And these two are definitely different plants. And if you viewed my video on Facebook, you may have seen this plant before, and this leaf right here didn't receive enough light, this one right here, and it's turned all green with a gray coating because it's on a Hoya carnosa Argentea Princess. And there's another leaf right next to it that has very little variegation. So if this were left in the same spot, the leaves up here would also be gray. But what I did was I increased the light, and you can see that we've got variegation. So it's very important to have those plants that you want to remain variegated to be in high light. Once again, it's always important to have a second example. These two mother plants were left in low light for a short period of time, and you can see that these leaves have turned just solid green with the gray coating. These would be, this cutting, if I were to take it, would then be Hoya carnosa Nova Ghost, because it will not go to variegated. The plant only reverts back to green. Notice that this is the same plant we were talking about a minute ago, that the leaves on this plant are green. They reverted to green with the gray coating. Notice that this entire stem all the way up is green. There's no variegation. So this stem will have to be cut right here and planted, and it will have to be labeled Hoya carnosa Nova Ghost. If this happens with your plant where it turns solid green, cut that piece at as low as it is, only green, and plant it into another pot. Get rid of it off of your plant. So remember, if you have a variegated plant, a Hoya plant, that has started to turn green or revert back from variegated to green, make sure that you, number one, put your Hoya plant into brighter light, and number two, where it begins, where the plant begins, leaves begin to turn green, cut the plant stem and pot that into another plant or another pot, and place the original plant into higher light. Now, we'll be talking about how to take cuttings and what are the best ways to root those cuttings in a future video. Please subscribe, share, tell other people about us. And I hope to see you again, Hoya lovers. Happy Hoyas. Bye-bye.